when you first sent me the message after you had that experience, I definitely felt his presence. He came in childlike, and then he passed away when he was a child, so that makes sense. But for me, he came in as a child instead of as an older soul. And he felt really young and playful and happy. So we'll see how he comes in today and what messages he has. And I guess we can ask him questions and things like that too, and see what comes up.
Yep.
Okay. So he's coming in as his younger son. And he's making me feel like when he was a child, when he was living in this current lifetime, he was ill, is the feeling that I'm getting, is that he was sick. But I'm also feeling like there was something going on in the family. It feels like the dad, his father figure, wasn't available.
Okay.
And he's making me feel like he felt like he was looking after his mom when he was living. And that was one of the reasons that he stuck around, that he did not cross immediately, because he still felt like he had so much responsibility here. I'm feeling like the dad wasn't a very good father. He was a substance abuser. I'm feeling like this went on for a really long time, for as long as he remembered, and that this affected his mother's ability to care for herself. And when I do feel like the dad either left or he passed away. And that was when his mom really took a downturn. I'm feeling like this was maybe about 2 years, around 2 years before he passed. He's showing me a cat. It just seemed like he was very attached to this cat. He's just really going back to his mom and showing me she was very emotionally unwell. It seems like she had a lot of things that she carried around with her. He's showing me a lot of sadness, a lot of grief.
She lost a lot of children. I found the whole family in the cemetery, so that's what I wanted to ask him, is why did the babies all die?
Okay, yeah. He's definitely showing me, he's putting a lot of weight on her, and how like her well-being was so important to him. Like he did not want her to continue to struggle, and he had hopes that she would be well if he could just help her. And that obviously did not happen. he's just making me feel like from her perspective and from someone's perspective that would have just been looking in, it was just bad luck, is what he's making me think, is what, you know, is what the family, almost like a family curse. Oh, that family's had it so bad. He knows now that most of those lessons were for his mom. He's saying that a lot of that was life lessons for her, a lot of what happened to the family. And he's not wanting to touch deeper into the dad, just that there wasn't a closeness there. And like I said, I can't tell if he passed or he just abandoned them or he just wasn't present, but he's definitely all about the mom and how much he cared about her and how he just wanted her to be well.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed is that his siblings are all buried in a different cemetery to him.
Okay.
Which is unusual.
He's not saying specifically, but I'm feeling like some of those children were not from the same parent.
Okay.
He's making me feel like there's splits, like in the family somehow. So I'm just getting the impression that whether it was discussed or not, that there was a lot of family drama around some of those children. Also getting the feeling that his mom wanted to be a mom so badly, but it seems like his dad may not have been able to have children. Not that none of them were his, but that there were definitely complications there, and that she may have stepped out to try to have children some other means.
The expression stepped out.
Yes.
Very polite way of saying it. She stepped out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And is he willing to share the journey? What I'm interested in is understanding, sometimes when children pass, they pass and stay in the house where they died or the hospital, because he died on New Year's Day. So I'm not sure whether he died at home or the hospital, but his spirit was in the cemetery. And I got the feeling like he was waiting for his mum to come to the cemetery, but why the cemetery? Why not the house? Why not the hospital? Why did he choose to stay around the cemetery?
Okay, so he's making me feel like his confusion and his inability to know made him feel like if he stayed with his body, that he could go back to his mom. He was afraid to leave his body. He was afraid if he left his body, where would he go? What would he do? Would he leave her? And then he just got stuck. It was definitely just the confusion and not knowing better.
And can he confirm, so the radio station, how I found that he was there was through the radio station, and a lady talked about 20 years ago, there were two little kids that he used to play with. Is he able to confirm that he played with them? Or did he play with many children in the cemetery?
Yes, he played with many children in the cemetery. He's showing me like this big tree. Yep. And he's showing me him just waiting in that area for someone to come by. And it seems like anytime someone would come by, whether they were even some adults, he would attempt to talk to them or to play with them. He's saying that there were several children over time that would notice him, that would play with him, and that would respond to him. He's saying that there's several adults as well, that would at least feel him there and not be afraid, though some would. He's saying that that most of the time he was just still looking for his mom. So when they would leave, normally with their parents, he would just shut down and wait and continue to wait for her.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think she's buried in that cemetery. I didn't look, to be honest. I was just looking for him. And then I felt like she never arrived. Like, she never came to that cemetery.
He's definitely making me feel like she was never there, that she never came back for him.
Yeah, that's what I feel, is this missing abyss. What happened to her? Because I went to the records to try and understand only a little, just so that then I would have some questions to ask. And yeah, I don't see any evidence of the parents ever coming back. So I was like, do they move interstate or? Yeah, I got this real feeling that she never came back. Yeah. Okay. Because I feel really sad in my heart now.
Yeah.
Like she never came back.
That's what he's given me too. He's just giving me this heaviness. It's the mother wound. He wanted his mom so much, but for whatever reason, they never reconnected.
Okay. And I'm just wanting to ask him about his experience on the day that I came.
Okay. Okay, so he's showing me like a gate. It looks like an iron gate. And he's showing me the tree again. And he's just giving me the impression that he was just there, just hanging out, waiting for mom, waiting for someone. He's saying that you surprised him, that did you go intending to reach out to him? Okay, yeah. So he's saying that surprised him. He said that people will notice him, but rarely do they go in search of him. Not with a pure intention like what you had anyway. So he's showing me that he was surprised but happy. And he said that he's making me feel like he opened up to you because of your motherly presence. Mm-hmm. That even though you weren't his mom, it was very comforting for him to feel that energy. He's saying that you talked to him and that he was scared, but that you made him feel safe, and that you assured him that everything would be okay, and you comforted him and made the confusion pass to where he knew he wasn't meant to be here anymore, that there was no reason to continue waiting, that she was gone. And that was very, very comforting, but enlightening.
Okay. And I'm just wondering about the process when he crossed over, because I saw the angels coming in, the big visuals of the angels and his mum coming in. I'm just wondering, in his little, he see it?
He says for him, it was like being hugged by just the most, he's giving me this feeling of it's just the most loving and supportive and nurturing feeling ever. He says he felt like he was engulfed and welcomed by pure love and light.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that it was like a vacuum, like his entire spirit team just engulfed him in love, and the next thing he knew, he was no longer there.
Yep. Okay. Yep. That's what I saw, was this vortex swirling.
Yeah, he said it was just like the light just evaporated him almost, but it more like sucked him away.
Yep.
But it felt like everything that he had been waiting on. It was just that love and that support, that completeness, that surety and safeness that he was looking for, that he just got lost.
Okay. And is he aware that are there any other lost people in that cemetery now? Or did he ever see anyone else that's lost still in that cemetery?
Yes, he says there's a man there. I'm getting a D name. I'm not really good with names, so take that.
That's fine. That's okay.
With a grain of salt. But like David or Dave, something with a D is what I'm getting. He said that they didn't communicate. That man was very, he said he was just very reclusive, is how I'm feeling. He was very, very unaware of other things, is the feeling that he's getting. He brought him to my attention. He said there used to be a lady there, an older, feels like a grandmotherly kind of energy. I'm seeing like red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an M name, like or Mary or something like that. He's saying she's not there anymore. He's saying that she did cross.
Okay.
He says that there used to be another child there, another boy that seems to be younger than him.
Yeah, I think I went to his grave.
Okay.
And I was trying to decide between the two of them. Yeah, because I felt that energy, but then I was like, no, there's just one. Yeah. Okay, because I asked the angels to cross over anyone that was left, but quite often they will hide. If they don't want to cross over, nobody can force them, not even the angels. Do you know what I mean? So that man may have resisted the attempts. That's why I was, just curious as to whether anyone crossed with him, or there's someone left there.
It does feel like there's at least that one man there to his knowledge.
Okay.
He's making me feel like the others have crossed.
Yeah.
That's the one that's standing out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And is there anything that he would like the world to know? Because we'd like to honor his memory. And so there's an opportunity for me talking to the radio station and obviously this podcast that this is going on, to honor his memory. Is there any wisdom that he'd like to share or insights about cemeteries and spirits and what people can do to help, that sort of thing?
He's making me feel like most cemeteries will have spirits, and most of the time they are confused. They're not trying to hurt anyone. They're not really even trying to attach to anyone, although that happens. They're just confused and they don't understand why they're where they're at and why they can't go back to where they were and what they can do or how they can cross over for multiple different reasons. But he's wanting me to share that we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be afraid when we encounter most of these spirits. Sometimes even the ones that seem to be more resistant, it's just that they're focused on what they believe and what they think. And it just takes some time or something to make them realize what's happened.
Yep.
And he says thank you for crossing him over. He said that every spirit deserves to be crossed over, because he said when they're trapped and when they're stuck like that, he said that the soul is literally torn, and there's fragments of it left behind, and the soul is not complete. When it's not complete, it can't truly be fully healed and fully integrated, and that piece is always missing, even though there's part of the soul that is healed and that is on the other side, it still needs to come together.
Yeah, that's my understanding too.
Yeah.
And if I may ask a personal question, so I can sense, like I sensed him and I felt him interact with me on the body and everything, and I'm beginning to see whispers of energy. So it floats like clouds when I see spirits now, but I still don't have the full being able to see. I couldn't see him in an energetic form. I just knew he was there. And that would make my job a lot easier to be able to see. Does he have any advice as to that? Is it a required skill? And maybe it's not a required skill and that's why I don't have it. But I was able to cross without seeing him, just by sensing him. Do you think that does he think that the ability to actually physically see with the third eye would enhance and help? And any tips or thoughts, because he obviously knows more about parts of me than I do, just by the fact that he's in spirit at the moment. So any personal advice or thoughts?
He says that not everyone can see externally, especially not all the time. It takes a lot of energy for both the seer and the spirit to manifest physically.
Okay, both. It's a two-way thing. It's right. Okay, thank you.
It's just because they have to lower their vibration, we have to raise ours. When they have to lower to have a physical external manifestation of themselves, it can be more energy than if they were just to telepathically communicate or visually communicate in your mind. He's saying that it's not important to see.
Okay, no, yep.
He's saying that you should use all of your senses and all of your abilities, that they're all equally important. Your feeling is as strong as it is because your heart is open and you're able to feel because you allow that into your heart space. He's saying that you can see, that there's nothing wrong with your third eye. It's just not, just needs to be, it's not your strongest ability right now, but it also, you can just practice it and work on it if there's things that you want to see more often. But he is saying that externally would be even less likely than seeing in your mind's eye.
Okay. And that makes sense. And then so somebody who is in a confused state in a graveyard is very unlikely to show externally, physically, rather than in the mind, because it takes so much energy, and they're not really, they wouldn't even have that energy, I'm assuming, especially if they've been there for a long time.
Yes.
Is that the right feeling?
Yes, absolutely. It's because, like you said, because of the confusion, the confused state, they are already not as energized as they would be had they been whole. So it's almost, he's showing me like a TV and not having good signal and how it's like flashing and flickering. So he's saying if they were to show themselves to you, they probably wouldn't even realize they were doing it, and it would just be like flashes, like if you were if you just had a bad signal.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you. That's really helpful in my understanding. I didn't understand about the change in energy required on their behalf, so that's good, because I was thinking I was looking for a confidence booster, but he's saying that it's not even necessary. I won't expect the external. I will work on seeing it internally, and if I get a spirit who's willing and we're able to do the exchange, then perfect, but I'm not going to bother myself with worrying about it, if that's
right. Yes, that's what he's saying. He's saying that you can. He said there's nothing that's preventing it for you, but just not to expect it every time.
Yeah, cool. Yep. Okay. And is there anything else he would like to share or tell us today, or is he happy and complete with our communication?
He is very happy. He's saying something about singing. I don't know if he sang or if he liked to sing, but he just brought up singing.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's just so happy. Like he's so happy we did this. He's so happy that you're continuing to reach out to him. He loves your energy. Ooh, he's given me. You saved him twice.
Ooh, saved him twice. I need to know more about that before you run away, little man.
He's saying that you saved him once when he was alive in a past life.
Oh, this is a connect. Wow.
Yes. Oh, I got chills. Yes.
Yeah, I have too.
Yes.
Okay. And does he want me to go into the past life to see that myself, or does he want to tell me about it? Which one? It doesn't matter. Whatever's most appropriate.
He's saying that he wants you to look into it, but he said that it has to do with water. It seems like he may have been drowning.
Okay. Okay. It's been an honor to do it twice. Lovely to see you again. See, it's oh yeah, definitely full body chills.
Yeah.
All right, I will investigate that. I'll go and past life to check that out. Cool, excellent, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's excited. He's excited for you to figure out who else he was, how y'all are connected.
Cool, thank you. I will. I'll go do my sleuthing in my mind.
You'll have to tell me after you figure it out because I'm really curious.
I don't worry. I'm sure that it will end up going. I'll end up sharing it if it's one of those. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, he's just so grateful and so thankful that you came and found him. And he does. He feels so complete now.
Okay, thank you. And let him know that I will go back and see if I can find, I'll go back and I'll find the other gentleman as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he thinks that there's hope for him, that he just might be a little more work.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yep. Okay.
Because of the level of disorientation.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you.
He says, thank you. And the name Sam just came to me as well. I don't know if that's connected to him just now or past life. I don't know, but that name came to me.
Okay, I'll look into it. All right.
Do you have anything else for him that you want to ask him?
No, not unless there was anything else he needed me to pass on to anybody else, or or need me to do, or he was guiding me to do.
No, he's just saying to keep doing work like this, keep talking about these things. It makes, when we discuss things like this and we share our experiences, it makes scary things not so scary. It makes unknown things more familiar, but it also makes people not so afraid to die so that things like this don't happen.
Yeah.
So he's very, very grateful.
I'm wanting to write a book crossing over people. So yeah. There you go, Maggie. We might have a book between the two of us. The Adventures of Katische crossing over.
Yes.
Maybe it's going to be Katische and Harry and Meghan as we go find them. I don't know.
He's woohoo! He's like, I'm on board.
Yeah, cool. Because see, I found him because of I don't listen to the radio normally, but I was on Facebook and Facebook showed me the clip and I was like, boom, have to go there. Like it was immediate. So yeah, I'm happy to go wherever. And I have telepathically, like I have crossed over soldiers in France that died in World War II that are in a cemetery in France. I had a whole bunch of them that come in from all around the world. I'm also quite passionate about in my local area to find and cross over people, because I understand why they do it. I'm really anti the ghost tours and stuff like that. And why have a ghost tour when you can cross those people over and it helps everybody? Yeah, I if there's any way I can have some guidance or help to have blog posts or videos flash into my mind to know that I don't like going willy-nilly into a cemetery and just going, who's here? I feel like an idiot. I like to go, I really enjoyed the energy of looking specifically for him because I feel there's a purpose and that it makes it feel very specific. Like you're crossing over your own child. You're going there to find somebody. Whereas if you just turn up to a cemetery and go, I know there's going to be at least one or two spirits here, it's not the same because you haven't set your intention to find a specific person. So yeah, if there's any way that, and if it's in his best and highest interest and he's not off doing other missions, that he can help guide me to people that are accessible in my local community to cross over. And when I travel to cross over, I'm very happy, excuse me, to do that.
Yes, he's agreeing that he will definitely guide you.
Okay, perfect.
And he's making me feel like you'll know when he's guiding you because like he's giving me like this tingling feeling like on my neck.
Yeah, that's where he jumped up on my neck. It's from the cemetery.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's what he's making me feel. So I guess that's his sign when he's around. And when he's around, he's going to be guiding you to a soul to cross.
Okay, great, perfect.
So when you feel that, you'll know that there's a soul there.
Okay, great. Perfect. Okay. Great. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think I'm complete for now.
Okay. That was really fun. That was really exciting. I love his energy. He's just so sweet and like exciting. Like he's got that young, playful energy. Is how he comes in. He's so sweet.
Yeah. He was only 8, so.
Yeah.
Little fella. All right, excellent. Thank you very much. Lots of adventures to be had now.
Yeah.
So
we can mark that one off of our list.
yeah. One